Oh yeah. Okay, now this 1.3, the 3 supplementary precepts, supplementary, and sometimes the supplementaries, it's like supplementary or like a similarity, then maybe I think is anyway, supplementary precepts, and it is means it's like a similarity of the 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas, and this is how it is like similarity or supplementary. Look, open your teacher, the spiritual friend who teaches you here and now that to do, what to do and what not to do in the present moment, and who is teach you about the what is to do, positive things, what not to do about the negative things. As the true jewels of the Buddha do not even so much as work on his shadow and endeavor to serve and honor to himself. It is like a not a kind of the go over the like kind of the shadow or the cloth, any. Generally kind of the speaking, this is supplementary of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Like this is like a teacher. Your teacher is the representative of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. I mean, it's like a really qualified teacher. It is like this. Kind of the any kind of teacher like me. That's kind of not really not representative. But our own individual perspective, someone's teach you about the Dharma and give empowerment, transmissions, and to all the time is teach you about the how to do about the positive, good things, how like kind of the what not to do negative things. This person, it is really like kind of the leader of the liberation and also the guiding to us about the liberation path and really showing the positive things. It is like not like showing out negative things. That is also true because it's like teachers, spiritual teacher, Dharma teachers all the time is of course and talking about the positive things. When we are look at this follow up the spiritual friend, of course sometimes negative teachers like this means it's like a more increased jealousy and like kind of competition, criticize to others, like a little bit doing against the Dharma, then it's like difficult to say. But someone's really to give education to about the Dharma, what is Buddha says, and that is like giving like kind of the all the jewel precious things that is the really representative to Buddha, and also this cloth like a representative of the Sangha, like a body is maybe Buddha, mind is the body is like Sangha, and like you can to say it's like mind is the Buddha, and teaching is the Dharma, and that perspective we should to respect. Very important. Do not even so much is the work on his or her shadow, and endeavor to serve like kind of the which kind of pleasure to make and to obey, and as much as we make pleasure to your own individual teacher, that's service to honor to him. And also it is like consider every word of your sublime teacher as the jewel of the Dharma. Whatever this teacher says comes from some word from the mouth, it is representative of the Dharma. Therefore we need to respect, accept everything he or she says without like kind of the disobeying and a single point. And we can to analyze really it is whatever this teacher says is the benefit or not. Maybe it's like many times it's not really benefit, like kind of the concerning the self, and some is like this manipulation. Why we need to follow, why we need to like kind of listen. And if some really qualifier and good teachers, they all the time is like concerning benefit for our student, and that is really like kind of representative to Buddha Dharma Sanghas. Of course, whatever this person say, it is representative of the Dharma. And consider his like kind of the entourage, like kind of the whoever close to our teachers. For example, if your teacher is like a monk, maybe it has self family and surround all the sanghas, and whoever monk nuns to be closer to the teachers, this is your like representative sangha. And also surround is like entourage, means if your teacher is a ngokpa, maybe like kind of the wife or husband or like children's, this kind of entourage. He's like disciple, there's really speech disciple, like physical disciples, and supporter of the disciples, whatever connect to your teacher's activities, and your spiritual companions who have pure conduct as the jewel of the sanghas. Also we need to respect whoever retinues of your own teachers. Respect them like kind of with your body, speech, and also mind. Of course, sometimes in the democratic country, free, like liberate countries, very difficult, but it's when we are like a Dharma point of view, it is very important to respect all the retinues of your own teachers. They are like as considering the representative of the Sangha. They never upset to them, even for an instance, like small ways to try to make pleasure to them. If they are happy, they're working very well, your master's, teacher's activities, then teacher's happy, your teacher's happy, and then they're like kind of the happiness coming towards, or even you, maybe more blessing, more kindness coming to you. Then we, for example, hurting the entourage of your own teachers, maybe then you make happy your own teacher. It's like very difficult. There's some entourage of your teachers. Maybe there's some surrounded the teachers. Maybe it's like a regularity or like kind of the all the time is like they taking care this your teacher's activity, like enlightened activity. If without that, maybe sometimes it's very difficult to only one teachers himself that kind of taking care. And therefore, if they are holder of the successor of the teachers, maybe activity, teaching, everything, then we hurting or make disappointment to them. Then teachers, of course, it's difficult to be pleased, and necessary, not necessary to do the displeased to them, necessary to make happy. Particularly in the secret mental vehicles, the teacher is the main source of the refuge. That is, we already described above. This body is the Sangha, his speech is the Dharma, and his mind is a representative of the Buddha. Therefore, we recognize him or her, therefore, as the quintessential union of the three jewels, like a preframe, resume, unification of the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. See all these actions as the perfect. It's like he or she is your own teacher, maybe lady, maybe your teacher is a man. It doesn't matter. It's like who or she, you're like kind of the teacher's action as the perfect. And we should to follow him or her with absolutely trust and true, like kind of the true pay to him or her all the times, to like kind of the respect and to prayer, and like this, truly to pray to him or her. And we all the times shroman chuji inji potoni to sonji kanjungo ronsen chugu ngons tanze patawala mishabla sorwan depse, like shroman chuji in the akanishta of my heart, in the like kind of the celestial palace of in the Buddha natures, the representative of the past, present, future Buddha, which is my own root teacher. And it shows the true meaning, is like naked the meaning of my own true nature. And that is like I'm a bow in the feet, or the like kind of to my own peerless teachers. And therefore, it's like kind of pray to him or her all the times. It is the most is the necessary. This is like kind of the hundreds, like kind of the Buddha prayers, resume included your like teacher's prayers. And you pray the 100 times, pray about the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Maybe it is like a single prayer of your own root teachers, much powerful result, benefit, blessings, single prayer of your own root teachers. Like this. They remember that the displeased him or her with anything you do, physically, mentally, verbally, say or think, it is to renounce the entire refuge in it. So put all your determination and effort into try to please him or her all the times. That is like kind of the very important, and 100% your inner realization is a power of your teacher, blessing of your teachers, sometimes naturally can occur. We already studied in the above, and the Buddha, he told to the Shariputra, says, Shariputra, if you want to realize that the ultimate realities, through only the faith, nothing like kind of the another else. Like this, no matter what happens to you, be it is the pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad, sickness or sufferings, entrusted yourself entirely to the jewel of your teachers. This kind of any kind of situation, any kind of circumstances, any kind of like kind of the happens to be it pleasant, like kind of happy realization, and like become rich, famous. It doesn't matter. And it's like you need to think like kind of, or that is maybe or the pleasant received from the blessing of your teacher. And when you are pleasant means it's like when you're happy, when you are like kind of the rich, famous, never forget, take refuge in your own teacher. Unpleasant, maybe you become sick, become maybe problem, lose job, and something is like kind of problem. And never lose the faith, devotion into your teacher, and never forget it, or good or bad, sickness, sufferings, any kind of, all the time, like kind of the entirely to put like kind of the faith, devotion to your own teacher. Listen and kind of respect like this, and I think it's 100% finally you result something good thing. Like kind of recognize all well-beings at the sufferings from the compassion of the three jewels, and like kind of the any kind of to recognize well-being, or like kind of this above the mentioned this kind of situations, and that is like kind of everything is like kind of the blessed to me by the representative the three jewels, which is the peerless compassionate your own teachers. And like this here is like kind of this compassion of the three jewels means it is like kind of maybe if you say, of course, pleasant, good, successful, these things is a can occur, and it's like okay, you can to say it's like a blessed, it's very nice, maybe it's a given. If sometimes we have very much unpleasant, bad, suffering, sickness can occur, that times we do not need to complain to the three jewels and your teachers, because sometimes it's like when you practice more, you have something more problems occurs. Maybe that is also maybe very good. For example, some great doctors, when they are checking their own patients, when they are really correct to give medicine, correct like kind of the medications can occur. Sometimes more pain, like kind of the surgeries, like kind of when you are surgeries, like they take out your sickness. At that moment, quite very much pain, but like a kind of the big sickness, it is like kind of the taking away. And therefore, sometimes sadness, sufferings also is like a big purification. And therefore, we don't need to lose. Okay, it is the maybe blessing of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, blessing of the teacher. Am I suffering? I have problems, but maybe not necessarily losing faith, devotions, trust, like trusting into the three jewels and the teachers like this. It is said that everything's pleasant and good in this world, even the slightest pain, breeze on a hot day, come from the compassion and blessing of the Buddha. You can see Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, or the teachers. Maybe it's like a kind of the very hot weather. There's like kind of the small, like kind of the coolness you can to like kind of the receive. Maybe this is also you need to consider, maybe receive blessing from the three jewels, the teachers. Maybe if you are very much thirsty, maybe you certainly someone's gift, or you got the water or delicious coffee or tea, you immediately recognize maybe it's like received from the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha and the three jewels. And it's a like this sort of you all the times to concerning, then it's really you are relying on the three jewels, and also like you all everything's putting in the shoulder of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, your teachers. And this we say is like if I'm happy, also depends on my three jewels, the teacher. If I'm sad, it's okay. Also it depends on my teacher, my like three jewels. And all everything's bring into the path, dedicated benefit for the sentient beings. and to put more faith into the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha teachers. I think it's we all the time is on the correct path. Never ever is to follow the astray path. In the same way, the similar positive thought arising in your mind, a result from the inconceivable power of his or her blessing, like this. This is like example in the Buddhacharya Avatar says like this. In the way of the Bodhisattva, like and the Shantideva, he said like this. Wonderful sentences we already studied, you know. As when a flash of the lightning wreathes the night, and in this glen show all the dark black cloud had hide. Likewise, rarely through the Buddha's power and virtue thoughts arise, brief and transient into the world. And like this, what does it mean? For example, here is the example. When the flash of the lightnings comes from the sky, maybe it is like autumn during the night, very much random the light. It means it's like kind of such black cloud and like kind of massing thick, no light of the moon start, and you are be in the middle of the like maybe in the desert or the something lost your path, and then it's like suddenly this kind of red in this the glen in the show all the dark black cloud at hides it, because it's like there's nothing kind of the luminosities. There's a very much dark, lot of like kind of the black cloud and like kind of the thick, and also it's like there's no light of the star, moon, everything. But certainly in the between this cloud, they like kind of the flash of the light is coming. You at that moment you can to see your path, where you are going, which directions, and like this similarity in our mind is, and our mind is of course the like kind of the like sky in the natural space of the in our mind, maybe essential nature. There sometimes like naturally occurring of the negative like kind of obscuration of the dark like black cloud, and it is like no like kind of the positive illuminations, and there's no kind of any positive or the wisdom's luminosities. But sometimes there is like kind of the positive luminosity can curse it. Likewise, rarely through the Buddha's power or the blessing teachers, virtue thoughts arise. Maybe a little bit, maybe I want to do some meritorious, maybe I want to do some virtue things. This kind of slight, tiny, like kind of thoughts is coming, brief and transient in this. And it's like kind of it is transient, each moment can come and disappear. When they are a little bit can occur in our mind, they say never lose, catch it like this. We say it's like a blinded persons, and when they are catch the cow's tail, you never lost. If you lost the like kind of the path. For example, in the ancient times, sometimes a cow or dogs, some blind person, no family, nobody's take care, and this person someone's go, and then it's sometimes guided by the like kind of the dog and the cows. It's like kind of the cow's tail you holding, and then this blind person is you can to follow this cows. If you lost this tail, or maybe dog sometimes a rope, and then this bring to wherever you go sometime. Like this, for example, if some guide of this blind persons has some rope or hand, sticks they taking, it's like to go like in the road. If this blind person's lost this piece of something holding, then it's how then blind person can do like this. And therefore sometimes we have a little positive thoughts can come into our mind. Very important to holding that, to develop that, to catch there, and do not lose that. Therefore, listen, so the recognize the Buddha's compassion in everything that helps you and makes you a happy set. And like kind of all the like your happiness, all your kind of the good things is like kind of the receive from the compassion of the Buddha. This is like a similarity. For example, we can say we are the vegetations. Maybe vegetations needed the luminosity of the suns. One sun is like kind of the light is touch the vegetations, and that moment is like such a kind of receive the benefit. Seed is very happily to can grow up. And one is like a sunlight, warm, shine, that moment to grow up the seed. And also it's like in order to grow up, we need to sunlight. And also it's like something seed is happened, that is obviously sun is heat up. And like kind of weather is good, then this coming. Naturally, this is recognized. But that moment, of course, the sun is the weather's. Now it's like we need to send to these vegetations in order to grow up. Not like this. There is automatically. And therefore, it's like the Buddha's compassions all the time is permanently and also impartially compassions there. When we receive something in our mind is like almost to ripen. The seed is want to open. That moment to get more. Now I received the luminosity compassion. The compassion of the luminosity from the Buddha. We need to rising up. Whenever you encountered the sickness or the sufferings, when demons in like kind of the enemies create obstacle or whatever else, and may like kind of the befell you, just pray the 3 jewels and do not rely on any other methods of the dealing with such a kind of the problems. And also it's like maybe it is like when you are sick, when you are problems, maybe you take into the path to taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, your teachers. Maybe this is my purification. Why I need to like kind of take another method, to like kind of take medicine, to go to the like kind of the doctor, see like this kind of, it's like maybe recite more like refuge prayers, taking more refuge into the Dharma, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and the like kind of teacher, like considering my sickness, sufferings, unpleasant things, also even the harming by the enemies, and all these obstacles, it is my purification. Okay, anyway, your like kind of the misdeed or the negative kind of the actions, whatever you done in the past, and you clean up and like kind of the purifications finish it. There's no anymore 100%. And there's we need to pay the repayment. And therefore we repaid to in this life or next life. Maybe in this life we can to repay back what we done negative things, or maybe we can purify it in this moment. It's wonderful through the suffering, through the kind of the sickness, through the like enemies disturb to us. And then it's nothing kind of, there's more left. Maybe in the future select more like kind of the we can to be easily to be enlightenment, easily to receive the happiness, like we find forever changing happiness. And like this, any kind of the like such problems, like not necessarily to using the different methods, like kind of dealing with this, but only to pray with dealing with taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, bring into the path. For example, another like kind of the methods dealings that we can, if you have to under like kind of the medical treatment. Medical treatment is like sometimes very strong medicine. It's like kind of the to make really is like to make more refugee prayers to take under the three jewels Buddha, taking refuge Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas is like 100 eating medicine compared to taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. It's very much wonderful. I mean, it's like this, really, like for example, my situation. Also, of course, sometimes it's like very dangerous. It's like my diabetes, kidney, something. But of course, I have medicine. But most time it's like kind of my family, student. They like kind of doing puja, pray to the three jewels. It's extraordinarily affected. Really amazing like this. The only to the medicines like treatment is, I think it doesn't help to us, not very much. But it's like kind of the taking into the path, purification, blessed by the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, more to pray, and maybe like this, it's like any kind of negative, unpleasant, this kind of also easily to clean up. Make use of the like kind of the healing ritual things. Also for the Patrul Rinpoche is like first Patrul Rinpoche, when he something needed to puja for him, ritual things, probably he never ever do it. Only he's taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, meditate on his own truth, nature, reality, his teacher. Of course, he's like kind of his own teacher's Tonka. And it's like I met it every morning. His root teachers like Tonka, and the ancient times that is the picture. He put the front of the Tonka, his forward, like almost like this hole is this in the Tonka in the below there. Every morning he's all the time is carried in his like kind of the back, like this. But I never ever heard like kind of, oh now I'm like kind of sick, bring medicine, bring me like a doctor, surgery, never. It is like this, healing. In the like kind of the recognition that those everything's are the activity of the three jewels. Maybe I'm sick because three jewels blessed to me, purified my past negative actions, negative deeds, and the obscurations. Like concerning that, maybe it is your sickness or your like kind of negative circumstances, and also become the positive and liberation path, and also learn to have the faith and pure perceptions by the recognize everything that appear as the being manifested by the three jewels. And this is also very, very important. Whatever we have appearances, form is the representative of the Buddha's like body, and also it's all the sound is the representative of the Dharma, and also it's like all the thoughts inner is like a body is like this. That is the representative of the Sanghas or the movement expressions. This is like kind of the also pure like pure perceptions, and recognize that everything is the expression of the three jewels or the manifestation of the three jewels. If you do like this, then this is the great creation stage. And also like kind of decisively you practice that. That is the great like attitude, like kind of the similarity of the pure perception, the pure view. This is extraordinary view. If you concern the for all the five objects desirables as the manifestation or the expression of the three jewels, like all the form is the body of the Buddha, all the sound is like kind of the Dharma sound, any kind of there's the like expressions at the like kind of the Dharma, the Sanghas. If you have this kind of view, and this is the highest view, this is a really direct connect to the nature of the realities. That is like kind of basic purification of your habitual patterns. Very, very important. This is the really pure perceptions. This can destroy your negative pattern, negative habitual tendencies, naturally, automatically like this. Even that there is some another, like when you are set off to go somewhere, maybe your business, maybe your kind of the holiday, maybe you want to sightseeing, maybe you're going to cinema, maybe you're going to like kind of the concert, maybe you go to restaurant, you are going to shopping, wherever you go, like whether you work or for some other reasons, maybe there's any kind of reasons, like go there paying homage to the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha of the directions. And which directions? East, south, west, north, or south directions. And like everywhere is living the Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas, and you need to, before you departure, you settle on the path, you like kind of homage to pray. And it's often I'm doing like this, whenever I go, when my feet is put under my like kind of the front of the door, I'm says I'm take refuge in teacher, I'm take refuge in the Buddha, I'm take refuge in the Dharma Sangha. And sometimes it's making me very much confident. It's making me sure. Like when I do like this, then I go to do something. It's very much successful. And it's really such the benefit. This is the really truth, really obvious effect. And also you do like this, whenever you go, whatever you set off the like kind of somewhere, say, office, as I mentioned, at home, or like kind of sightseeing, holiday, business, and it's like traveling, any kind of, before you departure, like you're going out, and you can take refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. You recite this mantra or this praise from your mouth or you're in the mind. It's like you are mentally you recite, remember, this is more deeper than the recite from your mouth. That is very important. And also make the refuge prayers your like kind of constant, daily kind of the practice. And like kind of I'm taking refuge in teacher, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. That is very easy, very simple. That is like the principle of your daily practice. Wonderful. This prayer, this practice, everything is included. Whether you use the text of the heart essence quoted above, or his prayers, now as the folder, like the fourfold refuge, in the like above, like kind of the threefold refuge. When you say the threefold refuge, it is the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Here is the fourfold refuge. It means Lama and like a teacher, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. There's a four object of the source of refuge. Therefore, and this is like kind of the all the times you need to recite that, and which is the common to all vicars like this. This is like the fourfold of the taking refuges. There is, I take refuge in the teacher, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sanghas. This is the fourfold taking refuge. Teacher, Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas. And also it is like in India, most time during the Buddha's alive, you taking refuge in the Buddha, then you don't need a teacher. And they are luckily in the present moment, their teacher is a real Buddha. And also that moment, it is like kind of you taking refuge of Dharma, that, and then the Sangha. After in like kind of some other, particularly in Tibet, Sikut Mantrayana, Guru Rinpoche, they came. And this is like kind of added. Maybe in the India, the refugee prayers, there's a threefold of the refugee prayers. Yes, this is the truth. But in Tibet, we added this teacher. For example, your own spiritual teacher is a representative of the Buddha. Buddha is already gone. Unluckily, we couldn't meet that. But his teaching is still there. And also in order to study teaching, in order to understand the meaning of the teachers, we need the Buddha, we need a teacher. Like there is the examples. Maybe from the sunlight, we want to make a fire, we need magnet glass between there is. And to connect to the firewood and the suns. And magnet glass can to make fire from it's like kind of sun. In order to receive the Buddha's teaching unmistakably, in order to understand unmistakably the meaning of the Buddha's teaching, we need to rely on our own spiritual friend, teacher. And therefore, it's the first time, like first, the folder, it is like the own teacher. The second folder is the Buddha. Third folder is Dharma. Fourth folder is like folder is Sangha. And this one is like all the time is to practice, like your principle, daily practice. That this is quite. You pray that in your attitude, it's like you pray benefit for the sentient beings. This is a combination of the refugees and the bodhicitta is the coming together. And like this, then is the recommend to the other people that they take refuge and encourage them in the refuge practice. And entrusted yourself and other to the three jewels, both for this life and for the life to come, and practice the refugee like that diligently. It is the very important. Maybe it's the recommend. Maybe to your like kind of Dharma brother and the sisters. Maybe also it's like you can to give explanation, the like kind of the qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas. Maybe if someone's ask no Buddhist, maybe someone searches some spiritual path, they ask to you honestly, really to, then you unmistakably you understand the qualities and everything's Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. You don't need to convert to them. You can give nice information. That is like kind of you making courage to your other families, friends. You telling to about the three jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sanghas. And then it's like you can to say if you practice daily this like kind of the trustfully and like a Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, then it can such a kind of the benefit. How much benefit we already studied. Even yourself also need to trust. And firstly, you need to trust. You need to pray yourself. And if you have doubt, you don't know, it's really who is the Buddha, what is the Dharma, really the like kind of the qualities of the Sangha, then how you can to tell to others, how you can to give encourage to the others. Therefore, first time is the practice in trust yourself and to others like three jewels to say something, how to practice very diligently. And also, so when you go to sleep, visualize the deity of this field of the merit, as we mentioned in the above, as described above, but in your heart. Before you sleep, they dissolve through your central channels into your heart. Feel asleep with your mind, like the concentrate, open themselves. Yesterday I said, like this refugee tree, the field of the merit, melt luminosity through your central channel, go into your heart. Your heart like this, first like kind of open, and then it's dissolved into your heart, and then this close, and then you can to concentratedly thinking about that, you can to sleep. In the morning, it's like kind of when you wake up, you put like kind of the like extraordinary way they put faith devotion, and your mind is open blossom, flower red flowers, and then it's like kind of the shining out through your central channels, and like kind of the above, like kind of the how you can visualize. We like kind of mention that in the above like this. This is the very, very much you are like delusions, delusory things purified into the luminosities. Even through the sleep is like this. Your mind concentrate open to themselves. If you cannot do that, and it's like the thinking of your teacher and the three jewels as the being really presented by your pillows. It is like, and if you cannot to meditate in your heart before you sleep, you like kind of the imagine, you can to think your own teacher, your like the Buddha Dharma Sanghas, they are living in by your pillow, near your pillow, and like kind of the protect you, help you, fully of love and compassion for you, and smiling and kindly and living there. And then you can to sleep. Maybe you can to sleep where, maybe you can to nice dream like this all the time. This is also night like kind of the meditations. Then fell asleep with the faith and pure perceptions, without losing the thought of the three jewels. It is like very important how to sleep like this. When you eat or drink, visualize the three jewels in your throat and offer to them taste of the everything you eat, you drink. This is very important. If you cannot do that, offer them the first mouthful or sip, drink. I offered this to the three jewels. You just before like this. We often say it's like Tombalami Sonji Rinpoche, Chopalami Tamchi Rinpoche, Dembalami Gendam Rinpoche, Hyamni Kuncho Sanlan Chopambas. Even you say, I'm offer this food to three jewels. After you received like this, your food from the three jewels, they gift it to you. You eat, your food is become the like kind of the medicinal, your food is become the positive, your food is really like kind of properly received and like kind of the such a kind of benefit. When you have the new clothes to wear, before putting them like on for the first timers, lift them up and kind of the offer them mentally to the three jewels, like doing like this. Maybe it's a little bit shine like this, to maybe left, right, in the middle, you kind of the offering. And then after you received, you wearing, maybe your clothes may be like more useful and also benefit. It's like really, it's like blessed kind of. That is. Then wear them with the thought that the three jewels have given them to you. Like this. This is the most important. Maybe we can do 10 minutes to stop. And then like this 10 minutes.